Look, Alabama fan, I need you to pay very close attention to what I'm about to tell you. There is a story developing during Crimson Tide Fall Camp that the entire fan base is following with bated breath. It's a story of anticipation, injury, uncertainty, and one question that no one knew how to answer for sure. Will this kid be ready? Will he be able to deliver everything he promised? That's exactly what we're going to find out today. But before we get there, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do it right now. Here you can follow everything about Alabama Crimson Tide football, fall camp news, analysis, injury updates, and everything fans need to know before the season begins. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a single update. Now, let me give you some context. Alabama's running game in 2025 was a nightmare. The fans know it, the coaches know it, Kalen DeBoer knows it. The Crimson Tide's rushing attack was one of the worst in all of the FBS, and that's on a team that has historically built its identity around running the football, with Derrick Henry, with Najee Harris, with players who could make entire defenses bend to their will on the ground. That legacy had gone dormant, and last season was painful to watch. So when Alabama secured the commitment of a certain five-star running back, the #1 player at his position in the country, a kid from Jackson, Alabama, who accelerated his high school career so he could play for the Crimson Tide before even finishing high school, the fan base breathed a sigh of relief. This was the guy. This was the player who was going to reignite a rushing attack that had gone cold. But then, during spring practice, came the news nobody wanted to hear. Injury. And silence fell over Tuscaloosa. His name is E.J. Crowell, and his story already begins as something out of the ordinary. Crowell is from the city of Jackson, right here in the state of Alabama. He finished his high school career with more than 6,000 rushing yards, was named the state's Mr. Football in 2026, and reclassified his class so he could enter college earlier than expected. Such was his desire to play for the Crimson Tide. ESPN ranked him as the third best running back in the 2026 class. At 6'8" and 265 pounds, with impressive speed, having run a 10.74-second 100 meters in the spring of 2025. Rare athleticism, a profile that immediately reminded people of the great players who have worn the white uniform with the crimson stripes. But then came the soft tissue injury during spring practice, and Crowell disappeared from practice, and the fan base was left waiting. Then, at the opening of Alabama's fall camp on Wednesday, August 5, 2026, E.J. Crowell returned to the field, and what happened next is what made everyone in Tuscaloosa stop and watch. Kalen DeBoer himself talked about what he saw, and the head coach's words were direct. Crowell did some beautiful things. It was good to see him out there, flying around the field. At times, you could see exactly what showed up on his high school highlight tape. DeBoer said he was excited to follow Crowell's development, pointing out that the team was still without full pads, but that the mental side of the game, absorbing the offense, his positioning on routes, the way he caught the football, was already showing solid understanding and comprehension beyond what you would normally expect from a freshman. And it wasn't just the coach who spoke. Daniel Hill, who was expected to be Alabama's starting running back this season, also spoke about his new teammate. Hill said Crowell is a great teammate, that everyone knew he was coming in highly regarded, that the injury clearly frustrated him during spring, but that he overcame it, had an excellent summer, and put together 2 fantastic days of practice. Those words carry weight coming from a veteran in the same position group who is going to share the field with him. ESPN went even further and placed Crowell on its list of college football freshmen with the greatest potential for an immediate impact in 2026. Analyst Billy Tucker wrote that the door is completely open for Crowell to make an immediate difference in Tuscaloosa, even considering the limitations he faced during spring. He highlighted Crowell's impressive combination of physicality and balance through contact, and said for a fan base accustomed to watching running backs like Derrick Henry and Najee Harris dominate defenses, Crowell's style of play is going to look very familiar. And that, Alabama fan, is huge, because this fan base expects exactly that kind of football: explosiveness, power, a presence on the field, and the ability to turn a single touch into 6 points on any given play. And everything indicates that this kid was built to deliver exactly that. Of course, the coaches are being cautious. Crowell is still learning. He reclassified, so technically he should be entering his final year of high school. Adjusting to college football comes with its own demands. SEC defenses are a completely different reality. But what the first 2 days of fall camp showed is that this young man isn't here to learn slowly. He arrived ready to compete right now. Alabama opens the 2026 season on September 5th, hosting East Carolina at home. And with the running game desperately needing a turnaround, all eyes from the fan base will be on E.J. Crowell from the very first snap. If you've made it this far and you still haven't subscribed to the channel, this is the moment. Here you'll follow every Alabama fall camp update, every new development involving E.J. Crowell, and every piece of information the fan base needs before the season begins. Subscribe now and turn on notifications. And I want to know what you think. Do you believe E.J. Crowell will make an immediate impact this season? Will Alabama finally have the running game this fan base has been waiting for? Leave your opinion in the comments below. This is a conversation for the fans, and it starts right now.